Out of all the Marvel movies, this is probably the one that I was least excited for, but I was still looking really forward to watching it. And might I say, since I've seen it, it might be one of the best Marvel solo films.
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice, years of it.
There's a strength to him.
But is he ready?
Doctor Strange is the latest Marvel movie directed by Scott Derrickson. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch in the title role, as well as Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, Tilda Swinton, Benedict Wong, and Mads Mikkelsen. So Benedict Cumberbatch plays Stephen Strange. He's this arrogant surgeon, and one day one night on the way to a conference or something, he gets into a car crash and his hands, they are damaged badly. He's got very severe nerve ending damages. So he ends up spending all of his money trying to find a way for his hands to work again, and he ends up going to Kathmandu in Nepal, and he joins a temple run by the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton, and it's there he meets Carl Mordo, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Wong, played by Benedict Wong, and it's there he becomes Doctor Strange, and he has to fight Mads Mikkelsen, because Mads Mikkelsen has stolen these forbidden rituals. Doctor Strange is clearly one of the more superior Marvel solo films that I have seen. I wouldn't really call Captain America Civil War a solo film, because there's a lot more heroes. I would put it among the ranks of Iron Man, and the first Captain America, and the second Captain America, and Ant-Man. All of those movies, in that vein, Doctor Strange joins them. I want to say first that I want to give props to whoever designed the costume for Doctor Strange. It's just awesome to look at. I loved the costume, and I would wear that. I'll be honest. One thing that was also pitched to me that I thought, before going into the movie, was that since Scott Derrickson has normally done, horror movies, are there going to be more sort of, horror elements to the movie? From the trailers you see, it's kind of like an Inception movie. And those sequences where it looks like Inception, but it's not Inception at all. I would not compare this movie to Inception. Never went into my head. But the psychedelic sequences that do remind you vaguely of Inception, those are great. They combine the subatomic area where Ant-Man went to at the end of Ant-Man, and that's comparable to the psychedelic sequences in Doctor Strange. They're just awesome to look at. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was also really good in the role of Doctor Strange. His American accent, it kind of threw me off a little bit in the trailer because I didn't notice it. But then when I watched the movie, it just fit right in. It never even occurred to my head. It might occur to you a little bit, but it should just gel right into the movie, and there's no harm there. I also thought that Mads Mikkelsen's villain is better than the standard Marvel villain, especially in what his goal is and how he ends up going about it. That's just something that I think is probably better than the previous Marvel villains. He's not a great Marvel villain great villain by any standpoint, but I do think he's a lot better than the previous Marvel villains, like the Malekith from Thor 2 and Whiplash. I do think he's a lot better, and I think he's actually a standard villain. The action is also really fantastic. There's a scene in the trailer where you see them in New York, and it's all kind of in blocks and stuff. That action scene was great. It feels very psychedelic. I was saying, the psychedelic sequences are great. These sequences, the action sequences, they're very trippy, but they're great to watch. And what I loved about the movie is that it was able to introduce mysticism into the Marvel Universe, whilst also keeping the science and surgical elements of the movie that it originally began with. It didn't just ditch half of its themes midway through the movie. It kept them all the way through to the end, and it kind of provided some sort of balance between mysticism and science. The movie is also brilliantly well shot. I just love the look of Doctor Strange, and the score. I thought it was great. Michael Giacchino, I thought watching the movie, is this Michael Giacchino? And then the credits rolled and it was Michael Giacchino. It was a very good score. I especially love the Doctor Strange theme, which felt very Eastern. If there are flaws for the movie, I would say that pretty much the final few minutes of the movie, maybe the last 3-4 minutes, the movie kind of drops the ball a little bit and it lowers the quality, and it kind of left, when the movie ends, it's just kind of oh, that's the ending. I would like to say that the humour for Doctor Strange, it worked well for a lot of the time in the movie, but I would say that the humour occasionally got in the way of the tone of the scene that it was in. There's a scene where Doctor Strange is about to go into battle, and then just something happens with his cloak. And whilst that moment was kind of funny, it just kind of ruined that moment in the movie, where it was kind of getting serious, and it was going to go all action-packed and going to rev up. And then that happened, and it's just kind of brought the movie down a little bit. Another problem I had was that some of the characters in the movie, they didn't quite had a full character arc in the movie. They were kind of they were there for a majority of the movie, and then they were ditched just before the finale. or they were barely in the movie in the lead up, and then they were there for in the presence of the finale. Just some of the character arcs there that I would have liked to have seen patched up a bit better. Doctor Strange, I will say, is by far Marvel's most creative film yet. And I would like to see where the character goes up. Like, there are rumors of him being in Thor Ragnarok. He's probably going to be in Infinity War. He's a character that I'm really looking forward to seeing more of. And I will say that Doctor Strange, I'll have a side of fries with that. Have you seen Doctor Strange? What did you think of it? What movie are you looking forward to in Marvel's Phase 3? Let me know down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to go on the Platypus, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. How about you click that subscribe button for more content? Or click one of these two videos. You know, either one's good enough.